So is that the difference between a politician and a leader?
I think so, Adnan. Since 2015 that I entered politics, when they told me, you're a politician now, I told them no. Don't call me a politician. If the others, who were my colleagues at that moment, they are politicians, then I as the others. So I've always said I'm a leader, I'm a representative of the people of Bonaire, and I try to the max to do my best to represent them the way that I would have liked somebody to represent me in the island council.
Which you didn't find. That you did not find that kind of leadership, and that's why you want to be this.
Yeah, because to me, everybody is focusing here on politics in a very strange way, Adnan. That's the first difference that we as M21 want to bring or want to let people feel and see that politics can be in a totally different way executed out there, implemented, interpreted. People here, a lot of our people has not seen, gotten, or
been exposed to this kind of
to politics. It's, if you see outside there, still you see a lot of fanatism going on because my parents, my grandparents, my great-great-great-grandparents were such and so colored, that's why. But if you go into details, people has to be formed still to what is politics here in Bonaire about.
And what it
how can it be? How can you make use of it? Because it's actually a vehicle, the only vehicle through which you can bring possible changes that you want to see for your people. But our people don't know how to handle with that. They don't know that they can come up with plans. They don't know that they can participate in governments, in the decisions, because they have never been
included.
No, and that's one of the things that we as M21 are very, very fond of and want to introduce, the participation of the people in the whole governmental execution of whatever we have to do. To do that, for us, we want to go towards neighborhood and surroundings development in such a way that each neighborhood should have their own, let's call it advisors from that specific neighborhood, because every neighborhood is different than the other, than the next. And each advisor council, if I can call it like that, of each neighborhood should be people who are being paid to do this job, so they can come up with the information of this neighborhood needs such and so, blah, 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 blah. We are actually missing this and this and this. And to me, Adnan, we have to start by the neighborhood. Why? Because if we are fond of families, if we are fond of our own people, we need to make sure safely where you can bike safely, where you have a park where children can go and play, where the bird center, the neighborhood center, the Centro Barrio is functioning on a daily basis for those people of that specific neighborhood. And where we can then say, there is a group who is, because it's impossible that just a couple of people, 3 diputados, can run all the barrios like that, all the neighborhood things like that. So I'm like, if you have that advisory
council, advisory board, neighborhood advisory board, they
are the eyes and ears for the government. And actually, if they do their job properly, we should have, in very short time, very nice barrios, neighborhoods where people can live and don't even want to go out of their barrio, because their barrio
proud of it, enjoying
it. To mention just one thing, cleaning up the greenery. If it's by one barrio to take care of its own cleanliness and whatever, you will see that it will happen. They will have somebody, a group, you're paid for, you keep your barrio clean, your neighborhood clean. And as a government, for example, you can always say at the end of the month, they are being paid for it.
Yeah.
At the end of the month, we have a prize for the
The
nicest
one-
bike.
yeah, it's a competition. Right?
Exactly. It's a matter, it's a way of bringing the people together also, because now bit by bit, if you have a look around, we don't have that social part in the
Cohesion
bios,
that you used to
that
have.
we used to have.
Yeah.
Everybody is living in their own place,
Yeah.
sticking to their own things there.
Yeah.
Leave the house, come back,
Yeah.
not
No
even
community.
exactly.
When you describe your childhood and you were playing with all your friends and the neighborhood
That's
kids,
gone.
that's going.
That's gone.
That's gone.
That's
And
totally
you would
gone.
like to, you don't want to see that lost. You want to see this
No,
in
because that's actually
what
part
is the
of
heart of
our
Bonaire.
Bonaire.
That's what makes Bonaire
And-
Bonaire.
Exactly, and you know, how can you even think about our people living just in that house?
Going to work, that's
Going to
it,
work,
with
coming
no
back to that
relationship with
house.
anybody.
Adnan, I don't know if you go out. I hardly go out, but I have a son that once in a while I drive around with a little bit. And on one of those tours, around 11, it's between 10 and 11, we went here on the Malecon, and I asked him, "Where do you go when you go out?" Over here, and I was like, "Over here? You have friends here?" Not really, but it's only these people that we have every time that we go out. This, what he calls these people, it's no Bonairean people at all. No Bonairean people nowhere. So when I started, because of that answer and what I saw for myself, used to go out.
Why are you not doing
Exactly, and then I get as an answer, you know, when I go out, I don't meet anybody else that I know. It's all about tourists and people who are coming in here and staying for a couple of months, so they don't get the link to anything or anybody to in Bonaire. So why should I go out? Then I stay home and I keep the barbecue. I hold the barbecue there in the back, and sometimes I tell people. Exactly, and I find that's not correct. You cannot, because then if you do that, you give the platform open for others
to take over that vacuum.
Over the vacuum.
Do people, in that sense, they're already feeling that they're losing their island? Is that the feeling that you're getting?
Think that's exactly not a feeling. That's what everybody is saying. But if you say that, I'm like, make sure you're sitting there for them not to get a space to sit or to stand, or at least to mingle with them, so you are there present also. But by going back or staying home, you leave the whole place to everybody else. And this is something that we have.
Go ahead.
We have to address it.
Is it